Got a pocket full of dreams. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Today, we're going to do something special. I got a tree in from Brazil. May not have originated there, but that's where it's from now. It's called Jabuticaba. Jabuticaba. And the strange thing about this, now this has some very wonderful medicinal properties. You could look it up. Very good for you. But the strange thing about this tree is that the fruit grows on the bark. And this is one of my midnight finds. So I was like, I wonder if I get that tree. And sure enough, I found it online. Found it online and I ordered it. Two of them. Two of them came in. Now these are tropical trees, which is my thing. You know what I think? If I could grow a bunch of lemons and citrus that are tropical, well, I could go all the way. Go all the way and get the things that I want. Now I've never had this fruit, but I heard it through the grapevine that it's very good for you. So I'm gonna try to grow it. And I heard it grows very rapid. If you all don't know me, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. My channel name is Jamerica Life, and my name is Jamerica. And this is my channel. This is what I do. I plant a lot of trees. Most of the time, there are trees that don't grow in my zone because I'm subtropics. I'm in Texas. And I'm not in South Texas. I'm in Central Texas. Oh, let me fix this. And I'm not in South Texas. I'm in Central. Uh-oh. I always get these pop-ups. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to turn this off. And, yeah, so I am in the subtropics, right? So some of this stuff, I should not be growing. But I'm also not supposed to be growing citrus. So if I can make an exception for that, and I don't really care for citrus, by the way. I don't care for it. I could go ahead and grow my stuff. So let me get here so I can see if anybody's in the chat, because I can't see anything right now. Here it is. So I'm going to get this thing unpackaged because they package it very well. This is another Etsy find. And I also started ordering some of the things from, these chicks are making a lot of noise. I also found some things on eBay, but mostly the plants I get from Etsy. I had been using Amazon, but Amazon doesn't have the selection that Etsy has. And where did this thing come from? I think it came from Florida. So they put tissue paper on top to keep the moisture in. They put it on the top and the bottom, and they tape these things to the bottom of the box so they don't move around. Now they came in okay shape. They got a little bit of brown leaves, but they're alive. That's all that matters to me, and that's all I want. Hi Tracy, how you doing? Good morning, Jamerica. What? Let me go closer. Not on topic, but I found 2 of my surviving chickens are roosted. Oh, I'm sorry. That's usually what happens. Yeah. Yeah, you hatch, you have like one hatching, and you have 2 chicks survive, and those will be roosters most likely. The roosters are stronger in the chicken population. Roosters are, as babies, they're stronger. They don't most of the time the female is stronger. Not with chickens. Not with chicks anyway. Once they're past that stage, okay, but actually I've had more hens pass away than roosters, but then again, I have more hens than roosters, so I don't keep that many roosters. Roosters are stronger as babies and probably into adulthood. Not proven, but how it seems to be going. Oh boy, I'm trying to take this thing off. So, jabuticaba. This is jabuticaba, a Brazilian fruit tree. One of my midnight YouTube exploration plants. Then I'll watch the video and then I'll take that name and I'll search it and see how many people, I get as much information on it as possible through YouTube usually, because I looked in my book and I couldn't find it. Probably has another name. It may not be in there though. They can't put everything in the book. So I'll go on YouTube and I'll type in whatever plant I'm looking for. And I'll watch as many videos on the plant as I possibly can before I order it. Because, one person will say, oh my God, it's delicious, right? And it's very good for you. And sometimes that's half the story. Sometimes people will be like, okay, don't do this if you have allergies or you're allergic to this, do not grow this tree, or this tree is invasive. Now this one, jabuticaba, they say it grows quick. It's kind of like that Jamaican strawberry tree. That thing came in smaller than this, and now it's 3 times bigger than this. It's in a pot. These are going to stay in a pot also because I told you guys, I'm in the subtropics. This is a tropical tree. It can't take a freeze from what I've heard. I'll look it up again, but I'm pretty sure it has to come in. So all we're going to do is we're going to pot this thing. So I don't see any roots coming out the bottom, but this is a thing that I do. Some of the growers that sell these things, they say do not pot it for a couple of months or whatever. Definitely don't take this thing and put it out in the sun, especially this Texas sun. I was out there this morning and I had to get my work done before the heat set in. Our temperatures last night was 70 degrees. I'm just taking it and I'm going to put it in this pot and bury it. Now, I can never say this thing is natural because it has fertilizer in it when it comes to me. And plus, I don't know what my compost has in it. I didn't make this compost, so I can't vouch for it. So all I'm doing is making a tunnel, right? And I'm seating this plant in there. Then I'm going to get some more soil. And I pre-wet this soil. I pre-moisten this soil outside. And I'm going to take the soil and I'm going to put it around it and get it seeded. Move this out the way. I got 3 pots here. One pot is just for, just to fill in the sides. And I pat it down. I make sure I cover that bubble, the pod that it's in. I make sure I cover that with soil. And this is compost. I shouldn't say soil. This is, well, it's broken down compost. So it's dirt. It's soil. And of course, a spider. Oh, it's on me. I'm not afraid of spiders. Thank goodness. I'd have freaked out. He was on my lap. So, jabuticaba number 1 is planted. Just like that. Oh, by the way, when you buy trees, because apparently there's a citrus tree in here, right? Don't throw your pots out. Hold on to them. Buying pots is a... If you have pots, if you have pots that you paid for a plant, just put them behind somewhere where you don't have to see them, because pots are becoming expensive. I went to the store and I didn't get them because they were running like $20, $30 for a pot. And then I went to the nursery to try to get some from there because, some people had suggestions saying, hey, go to your local nursery and ask them for the extra pots. And the guy told me, man, we break down our pots and then we put them out on the dumpster broken down. So basically he was saying they ain't giving nobody nothing. If you go to one of the big box stores and their plants have passed away, they usually have a dumpster on the side or in the back of the store with pots. You may not want the plants. Sometimes the plants are alive. You just go and you collect them up, dumpster dive. I've done it. I've done it. I've dumpster dived for pots. I just threw the plant in the dumpster and took the pot because I was like, well, I paid for something you get for free. I'm not too proud. Trust me. People were, what is it? What is over there? I think there's a Taco Bell over there or something. People are looking at me through their cars. I just ignored them and got what I wanted to get. It is not beyond me to go on the side of one of them big box stores and collect pots. I don't want the soil either because the soil might be, contaminated. I don't want the soil. I just want the pot, and it's free. They don't care. They've already written it off. So my hands are dirty, but I have a pot of water here so I can wash my hands off so I can talk to you guys. Both of our plants are planted. You put the I need to put the name tag in here because I have so many trees now that I don't know which one is which. If I don't put the tag in there, I won't know what it is. That's how many trees I have now of different types. A lot of different tropical trees. Sometimes if I didn't, because initially I was like, oh, I don't have that many. I don't need to mark it, right? JABUTICABA. I don't need to mark it. Well, then a couple of months go by and I'm like, what the heck is this? And I want that to happen. I want to know what I have. So our 2 JABUTICABA trees are planted. Just that simple. And from what I hear, these things grow, well, from what I've researched, not here, I've researched that they grow quickly. So I'll probably have to upplant them in a couple of months because they're going to outgrow those pots. But right now, this will do. I don't want to put it in a pot. Man, this thing is in my way. I don't want to put them into a pot that's too big because then it'll dry out. And that's never good. So let me go to the chat. H2O Savior, how you doing? Tracy, my first crows are hysterically fun. Oh, you talking about the birds? Yeah, they ain't gonna be funny after a while. Them jokers, them roosters make too much noise. They come into themselves and they learn how to crow and they become quite annoying. Some of them are okay because I have one now, barely crows. Thank goodness, because I can't take it. I'll take them out to the country. I have to sell. I sold a lot because I don't like culling. I don't like, unaliving anything, plants, birds included. But if they get on my nerve, I certainly do, especially those roosters. Yolanda Watson, hey Jamerica, how you doing, Yolanda? David Corey, how you doing? Send me a tree, Jamerica. What? This one? I just got this. JABUTICABA? I just got this one. I don't know your address anyway. David Corey, he's saying hello to everybody. H2O Savior saying hi. GT Junior grows in Alaska. How you doing? How you doing? I feel like I haven't talked to a couple of y'all in a month of Sundays. So everybody knows that fall is coming. Not for us necessarily though. Not here in Central Texas. I'm gonna go as far to say not in Texas because we normally, I don't want to put my hand in my mouth. We normally don't get cold until they say our frost date is at the end of November. Our first frost date is the end of November. However, we normally don't get cold down here until after Christmas or around Christmas. That's when we get our first freeze. It might drop down to about 55, but in 55, these jokers, they're not going to be thriving, but they can stay alive. So that's another reason why I plant a lot of tropical trees, because if I get down here, if we get cold spells from the end of December, let's just say January through March, I could do that. And it's not that it's consistently cold. It'll be cold for maximum, it'll be cold for is a week. That's the longest I can remember that the temperature dropped for a long period of time. Otherwise, we're not warm. Sometimes we are. We're not 80 degrees. Sometimes we are though. And but we're above like 65, 70 degrees, so, or 55. And to me, now that I've been down here so long, 55 is cold. I'm thinking it's freezing. GT Junior grows at Alaska. Our temperatures are starting to drop at night. Ours dropped to about 70 because I put some chicks out and that was a big mistake. You hear them? I had to bring them back in the house. I had about 5 pass away last night because I thought it was going to be in the 80s last night. It didn't. It dropped to 70 and they couldn't take it. So I brought them back in here. They're annoying me, but they're back in here. There's less of them now. But yeah, it's okay. I made a mistake. I told you I don't like anything passing away, but there's nothing I could do about it. I made a mistake the other day. If you have livestock, small ones, baby ones, you gotta keep them jokers warm, or you gonna wake up and they ain't gonna be there. They can't take it. So just like this plant, if I leave this plant outside, shoot, when do I start taking them in? I think the end of October I start putting them in the greenhouse, and that greenhouse is a hot mess because I have a small greenhouse, and it's an inexpensive greenhouse, right? It's small and inexpensive, but it protects my citrus, it protects my Barbados cherries, and it protects anything that is tropical that cannot stand the cold. Also, I have a garage heater that I use in there. My good one, all garage heaters are not created equal. I have an electric garage heater, and then I have the Mr. Buddies. The Mr. Buddies are from me, Mr. Buddy heaters. But I had an electric garage heater. Excuse me. I have an electric garage heater that I turn on at nighttime. It's not one that I could set the temperature for. It is an actual garage heater. I plug it in and I run that joker at nighttime so that I don't wake up and be surprised like I got surprised last night with those chicks. I wake up and sometimes I go into that thing after the night is over because in the daytime normally it's warmer, so I turn it off if it's warm enough. But I leave it on at nighttime just in case the temperature drops. And sometimes I go in there in the morning and man, it feels like summer in there in the middle. It could be freezing out here. And that garage heater will have you sweating. It's hot in there. So it's working for me. Some people say that I've seen people with the ones that are plastic that have the sheet plastic on it and they're still heating it with garage heaters. I don't know what the safety is of those things, but I haven't had any trouble. Mine is hard plastic. And all of my citrus, all of my tropical plants, Barbados cherries, avocado trees, all of them are just fine. I have videos showing my avocado trees thriving in the greenhouse. That's why I buy these trees that are not necessarily for my zone, because I got a little greenhouse, I could do that. And if I were because I'm a New Yorker, I was born and raised in New York. If I were in New York, I'd do the same thing. I would do the same thing because you can do it. New York, we have a basement. I could make a grow room in my basement. Now, man, people might think I'm doing a little bit more than growing tropical fruit, but I could do it in the basement. So it does not really, you get grow lights and do it. Outside is easier because you get the UV rays, but there's people say, well, I can't do it because I'm in this zone, or I can't grow because I don't have a backyard. If you really, really want to do something, you could find a way. Now, I'm going to say her name again, Gina versus Gina. She went and rented a plot out, and she's growing in a plot. And I think she said that the plot is huge, by the way. It's like $25 a year or something like that. Something, I mean, ridiculously low. And she's growing there. So when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, there's really no excuse for not being able to grow. It's no excuse. You could guerrilla plant, throw something down, or you could go and rent a plot of land. It's really no excuse. Unless your soil is no good. That's when even then you can container plant. If you really want to do something, you can find a way. Now, it's going to be harder if you're in an apartment or you're in a cold climate trying to grow all of the things you want to do. But it's also hard for us because down here in Texas, brassicas, you better get your timing right with those brassicas because if it's warm down here. It's warm or it's hot. And if you don't get those brassicas down in the ground in time, they're going to bolt on you. All you're going to get is seeds. I'm speaking from experience. Let's see. Tracy, our maple tree leaves are already turning red. Tracy, what grow zone are you in? Are you up? You're up north, apparently. You know, I need to ask my mom about when the trees fall, when the leaves fall from the trees, because I found another trick, and I pray that it works. Another trick for forcing your trees like apple trees that require chill hours, forcing them to go dormant. From what I've heard, don't follow me. Let me do it first and see if it works. From what I've heard, there was a man, he's down in Miami, somewhere down south, and he has apple trees and all kind of trees that require chill hours. What he does is when it's time for those trees to naturally go dormant in another grow zone, a northern grow zone, he'll go into his apple trees, excuse me, and strip the leaves off, force it into dormancy. So I'm thinking I'm thinking I'm going to try the same thing on one of my trees because I want fruit. And I don't know if I'm going to get enough chill hours for my apple trees. There's dust flying around here. I don't know if I'm going to get enough chill hours for my apple trees because it's warm down here. I'm in the subtropics. So, I mean, even though you're up north, you experience problems, but we down south experience some of the same thing. There's some things that we can't grow because it doesn't get cold enough. It's just like that. Everybody has their restrictions on temperature. Let's see, GT Junior, God bless y'all. Oh, thank you. Tracy, with the cost of veggies and fruit flying up, you better learn to grow. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, about an hour off. Okay, you're in a cooler area than us. David Corey says Seattle. Nice. I've never been to Seattle. The closest I've been is Los Angeles. One time I went to Los Angeles, and then I didn't go back. And I was working, so it don't really count, does it? I heard it's beautiful. My cup is getting dirty. So everybody has their restrictions. Down south, we can get away with some of these citrus trees and try to grow them because we're not necessarily supposed to do it because it's subtropics. And up north, y'all could grow apple trees, pear trees, cherry trees. I was down in, where was I? I was coming from Padre and the Padre Islands. That's down south Texas, near Mexico. And I was coming back from South Padre, and I stopped at a nursery, and I asked them, did they have any cherry trees? And he said, man, we don't grow cherry trees down here. They just won't grow. It's too hot down here. You're not going to find us selling any cherry trees unless they're Barbados or Southern cherries, which aren't exactly the same thing. They don't taste the same. So from what I've heard, I can't grow cherries. But I also told you guys a long time ago that just because there's no rules, Mother Nature or God, there's no rules with growing. If something wants to grow in your zone, it's going to grow, even if it's not supposed to be there. So I can't buy cherries at the store here because they don't sell them. They don't sell cherry trees down south because they require too many chill hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go online and I'm going to order a cherry tree and see if I can grow it and force it into dormancy. I'm going to do that after I experiment with this apple trees. So I got a Dorset apple, I got a Honeycrisp, And I have an Anna apple. I think I have 2 Anna apples, so I'll just go ahead and sacrifice one and strip the leaves off and force it into dormancy and see if it works. And if it works, it's on and pop. The Jamerica gonna go and get her cherry trees, force them jokers into dormancy, and see if I can get some cherries out of it. There's no absolutes with anything. There's no absolutes with, with living things most of the time. No absolutes. There's always someone who is going to figure out a way to grow it. Just like I'm putting my what is it? Jabuticaba in the greenhouse to grow it because it's a tropical tree. There's other things that I'm gonna figure out how to grow. I just don't give up. I don't like taking no for an answer. I'm one of them hard-headed people. So I hope you all are too. Don't let people tell you what you can and can't do, because sometimes what doesn't work for one person will work for another. Example, the what is it? My fig cutting. I cut a fig branch off and stuck it in some water and put it in the window, the southeast facing window. Do you know it grew? It's in the yard now. I put it in the ground. So, and most people say, oh, you need rooting hormone. Oh, you need to put it at the rooting hormone, put it in some sand. No, I ain't do none of that. I took a new branch, which they say you're not supposed to use as a cutting. Got a new branch off of my Chicago Hardy fig, clipped it off. It still had green on the tip, and put it in a jar of water. And that joker, after it took a long time. It took a long time because I didn't use any rooting hormone. Put it in a little bottle of water and put it in the window. And in about a month, I saw a root coming out. And then I saw more roots coming out. When I had enough roots, I went ahead and put it in some soil, left it in there a couple of months. And then recently, I put it in the ground. So, free tree. Let's see. David Corey, Seattle. No, David Corey, I have family there. Oh, in Seattle. Okay. Tracy. It used to be nice, not so much anymore. GT Jr. grows at Alaska. You sneeze, and that's why I said, God bless you. Oh, thank you. I read it too late. I forgot I sneezed. Well, at least y'all know I'm not AI, right? If AI start doing that, man, I've been watching a lot of commercials, right? And then they'll say like, live instead of live, and then I was like, that's AI. AI ain't caught on yet that live and live are the same words, but they sound completely different when you're speaking. So they'd be like, I'm going live yet tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, that's AI. That's not a real person. I did a short recently, and I don't know, it loaded wrong, and I started twitching. I said, what the heck is wrong with that twitch? What, they're going to think I'm not a real person. They're going to think I'm AI. I am real, y'all. I got to start coming to some meetups because y'all be like, oh, that's a computer-generated person. You see how she was twitching? Anyway, we got our trees planted. They say that these grow fast. They're probably going to grow as fast as that cotton candy or Jamaican strawberry tree that I have out there that is 3 times bigger than it was. So some of these things. And then I got the Jerusalem artichokes that I still haven't put in the ground because I don't know where I'm going to put them. I don't want my neighbors to get mad at me because the fence doesn't necessarily stop the roots from going under and popping up on their side. And then they're going to be like, what is this weird weed that keeps popping up? Maybe I shouldn't tell them, huh? A couple of them know I got a channel. They watch me, so I don't know. Excuse me. Anyway, if you like, go ahead and look this up. This tree is very interesting because the fruit is going to grow on the bark. It's going to grow on the bark. That's what made me get it. GT Jr. grows at Alaska. I also don't allow my Zone 4 trap me to growing only certain things. Yes, people people know about these plants, and I know some of these people are experts, but with living things, there are no absolutes. If you could find a way to keep this warm or find a way to put a tree that requires a bunch of chill hours to go dormant so that it gets, you know, it thinks it's freezing. It's worth a try. Apparently other people, from what I've heard with that chill hour thing, other people have done it and succeeded. Yep, just like that fig cutting that I did on a whim. No, I didn't do it on a whim. I saw there was a lady with her son, and she had them in her sink, and her son was like, "Mom, tell them how you did it." She said, "I just cut out branches and I put them in some water and they root, and then I just plant them." I was like, "What?" It was a short. I could never find them again either. And I was like, "What? Let me try it." And I waited a couple of weeks until I thought about it. And I went out there and did it, and sure enough, it worked. I was like, I ain't going through all that rooting hormone and sand and boxes and all. I'm just gonna cut off a branch because I got big old fig trees. I could stand to lose a little branch. And I cut off one of them branches. Spring, it's still growing. And I stuck it in some water. That's what I got to lose. I ain't hurting the plant and don't have any fruit on it. So this is Jabuticaba, a Brazilian fruit tree. They say it's sweet with a little bit of tart taste. I don't know. It's a fast growing tree. It is tropical. So if you are in a cold or subtropics, you're gonna have to find a way to keep this thing heated. Just like my soursop that's right here. It's a soursop. I got 3 soursops that are in the house that have never been outside. Maybe that's why I ain't getting no fruit, huh? But if you get something like that, you gotta keep it warm. Keep it warm and give it enough light. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I know I haven't been on here long, but I just wanted to have you all experience this Jabuticaba Brazilian fruit tree with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Keep growing, keep trying, find a way to grow, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.